Jefferson Perez. Histórico, increíble, un hito para el Ecuador. Jefferson Perez alcanza los 20 kilómetros, marcha el primer lugar.
Hello again. Let me make the presentation of Group 1, who will make a presentation of our great sports referent, Jefferson Perez. Welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm going to talk about the childhood of the Jefferson Perez. Okay, Jefferson Perez was born in Cuenca in 1974. He's considered one of the greatest athletes around the world. He was recognized for the successful obtained as an athlete in the form of athletic walking. His primary studies were carried out at the Eugenio Espejo and Gabriel Ceballos School. Then the secondary studies of the Francisco Febres Cordero, he had to share them with some tax to help support his home. His childhood was marked by a series of finance limitations. The harder his situation was, the harder he was to become one of the best sportsmen. The weaker he thought he was, the successful he became, and his father didn't like him to work, and he helped him his mother's work, who had a fruit stand. He went through many things during his life, which helped him to be what he is today. To support his family, he sold newspaper and even shined shoes. This action made him more and more powerful.
Given the high training that high-level athletes have, they are prone to serious physical injuries that can even remove them from the sports career. Jefferson was not without this danger during his career. In 1993, he suffered a clavicle fracture that immobilized him for a time. In 1999, days before his participation in the World Championship to be held in Spain, a herniated disc was detected. The latter did not prevent him from participating in the competition, but if he did participate, he could run the risk of increasing the injury with even irreversible damage. Even so, the momentum and desire to reach the podium of Jefferson led him to participate. On that occasion, and even despite the pain, he reached the second place, proudly displaying the silver medal obtained. After that, he had to undergo surgery and a long recovery process that kept him in a wheelchair for a few weeks. At the Sydney Olympics in 2000, Jefferson was perhaps a bit frustrated by the results achieved, as he could not repeat the feat of getting a medal and had to settle for fourth place. This led him to make the decision to abandon his sport career at the last time. He needed to recover not only physically, but also emotionally. During this time, he dedicated himself to completing his university studies as a commercial engineer.
His sport begins were almost random. Jefferson was in his second year at Francisco Febres Cordero School when he was challenged to have to do an endurance race in order to pass physical education. At that time, his older brother, Fabian, was training in La Madre Park under the direction of coach Luis Muñoz. Then Jefferson comes up with the idea of asking Fabian to give him his position for a week to get the proper training, and to pass the subject. In April 1988, he prepared for the first time at La Madre Park, and from that moment on, this would be the place where Jefferson began to carry out his usual training sessions. Once Luis Muñoz realized his talent, we encouraged him to continue with other tests and to continue preparing for that. Coach C would be a discipline in which Jefferson could excel. Within a few weeks being the winner of the Sport AIT race, Jefferson earned the opportunity for the first time to represent his country in the United States and in England as a sport ambassador.
With his left shoe cut in the middle with almost no soul, Jefferson Perez won gold in Atlanta 96 Olympics by winning the 20 kilometers walk. Only a year ago, he had managed to be the greatest athlete in the Pan American Games. However, his particular technique required very expensive and difficult to obtain footwear. So in Atlanta, he participated with the same shoes that he had used in the Pan American Games. The first 10 kilometers of the race, Jefferson did not stand out, but in the second part, he left with the favorites with very tired and short legs. Jefferson focused on moving, but were with 3 kilometers to go when the race was really decided. His left shoe was more broken than right. Instead of the surrendering, Jefferson tried harder than ever and left behind his two most powerful rivals, the Russian Ilya Markov and the Mexican Miguel Rodriguez. In the entrance the tunnel to the stadium, he noticed a shocking silence. When almost 90,000 people left the tunnel to erupt in the epic cheers, the largest legend in Ecuador was born.
A quote of Jefferson Perez is, when someone asked, why are you running? Jefferson Perez answered, I am running because when I do, I know that I am alive. I see the plants, I hear the birds, the rivers. I feel the sun, the wind, the cold. And at the end, when I reach the goal, I say, thank you, God, for allowing me to conquer the strongest rival that you create. That rival is me, my fears, my weaknesses, and my anguish. Absolutely, this phrase has a very deep meaning because many philosophers, scientists have agreed on something in common, and that is, the limits are in your mind. And when we are able to overcome them, we can be stronger and stronger than we have ever been. A thought of them for our great reference, Jefferson Perez, who is and will be remembered for just being our first Olympic winner and for being an example to follow for generations to come. Thank you so much.